Known as one of the fastest tracks on the NASCAR circuit, welcome to Michigan International Speedway. High speeds, wide sweeping corners, and long straights with no restrictor plate required. The fans are filling in and ready for the roar of racing. We are nearing the chase and time is running out for a lot of drivers. Will we see a driver break through and lock his dreams of the chase in place? It's round 23 from Michigan International Speedway live on PBR Broadcasting. Thank you for joining us here tonight for the Lazy Dayz Racing Cup Series powered by Southern Motorsports and brought to you live by PBR Broadcasting. We welcome everyone at home for another great week of SoMO racing for the Portside Jaguar and Land Rover 290 at Michigan International Speedway. I'm Stephen Parks and I'll be bringing you all the action here tonight. They are in a driver's meeting currently, so we'll go over the track and how it will look tonight. We'll see if we can take a better look as we take a look at Seth Hatchell on pit road right now. Michigan is a 2-mile track. All the turns will be equal tonight and 18 degrees of banking, with the backstretch at 5 degrees of banking and the front stretch at 12 degrees. Tonight's race will equate for 290 miles for 145 laps, just under 75% of the NASCAR distance. Pit road is concrete, so drivers will need to brake earlier than normal or risk sliding through their pit boxes. Drivers will also have to be extra cautious leaving their box and going back to the track due to the change in surface. Pit road opens up wide out of turn 4, so it's not a matter of being too fast and missing the pits, but slowing down too much too early while setting up for your pit stop. Now, as they finish their driver's meeting, let's go ahead and take a look at the championship and how it stacks out right now. Seth Hatchell will continue his quest for the championship last week, earning a top 5 finish at Watkins Glen. Hatchell currently sits on top of the point standings with 774 points. 39 points back from Hatchell sits his MB Motorsport teammate Adam Baker. Baker would have a solid run at the Glen last week, but would finish with a 10th place finish. In third, we have David Howard Jr., who has been able to battle it out all season and stay in the top 5 even without a win. Last week, Howard would pull off a solid 6th place performance after starting 18th and is currently 97 points back in the standings. Chris Samard would have the toughest day of the top 5 last week, as he would get involved in a wreck and finish 16th after starting 8th. Samard is currently 118 points back from Hatchell in the standings. And our newcomer to the top 5, peeking his way into the top 5 for the first time this season, Keith Mayato would pull off his 5th win of the season, as now Keith Mayato is now 127 points back from Hatchell in the standings, but he's looking to make a run in the chase late in the season. Now let's take a look at how the team standings stack out. MB Motorsports continues its dominance, sitting on top of the team points with 1,705 points. Joe Mitchell and Seth Hatchell would combine for 80 points last week with a 3rd and 5th place performance. The closest team to MB Motorsports currently would be GAC Racing with 81 points back from MB Motorsports. Keith Mayato would win at the Glen, and Dean Viney would earn himself a 13th place finish, combining for 77 points. Third in points right now is SoMO Racing, who would have a solid day at the Glen, as a new team driver, Kurt Davidson, would lead the charge, joining Aaron Riley for 72 points. SoMO is currently 371 points back. MaxRev Motorsports would also see their newest driver push towards the front, as Travis Wall would earn a 2nd place finish. Joining him was Stephen Burnett, who would finish 9th, earning MaxRev Motorsports 78 points. Currently, Max Rev Motorsports is 548 points back from MB Motorsports. Diamond State Racing would push ahead with their now second week in the top 5. David Howard Jr. would be the lone scorer for Diamond State Racing last week, finishing 6th and earning 38 points. Diamond State Racing is currently 900 points back from MB Motorsports. So, some things to watch tonight. First, let's take a look at the chase picture and how as we start to wind down the regular season. Your last 5 in are David Gainforth, who is currently 11th, and he is on the track, I do believe. Yes, there he is. Gainforth is in search of his first, he's in search of his first chase berth in Southern Motorsports. As right now he sits on 11th with no wins this season. The next driver who's trying to get his way into the chase would be Lupe Gonzalez, who currently sits 12th in points. But we've seen Lupe make a late season charge before. Lupe is the defending Southern Motorsports Cup Series champion. Next one on our list is Kurt Davidson. Looking to see if he made it here tonight. And we are not seeing Kurt Davidson on the track, but he is in 13th, and he has been a strong contender late in the season this year. This would be Davidson's first appearance in the chase as well. Lynn McNeese is the next one on our list here. And we are actually not seeing Lynn. Oh, he is on the track, but he is I guess not physically on the track. Lynn McNeese is currently 14th in the point standings and is also in search of his first chase berth in Southern Motorsports. And the last driver to get into the chase at this moment, that would be the 24 of Joe Owen. We've seen Joe in other leagues being able to pull off big wins when it matters, but can Joe lock his way into the chase this year and get his first berth as well? And as we wind down with practice here, we'll step away for tonight's national anthem.
Guys.
And now, the most famous words in motorsports. Gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back. Some things we forgot to cover as we get ready to go to qualifying. Last year, Shane Papala would be your highest finisher with a second place finish in the late summer race at Michigan, while Keith Mayato would be your winner in a caution-free race back in June. So watch both those drivers try to make a run here. They do both have wins. They are both locked into the chase already. A driver who does not have a win, David Howard Jr., in search of his first win in the Cup Series this year, would find success in the Truck Series, pulling off a win at Michigan, while it would be Travis Wall taking the pole and the win in the Xfinity Series. But we are now heading to qualify, and open qualify here tonight, as these drivers will get around, try to run as many laps as they can in 5 minutes. You'll see a lot of drivers electing to take 2-3 laps, maybe even 1 lap, and then get to the pits as quick as they can, bring it back out and try to run another one. Right now we're taking a look at Brian Neff. He is a newcomer to the Cup Series, and he's run pretty well the past couple weeks. Has ran into some issues that's not really giving him the finishes he wanted to. Go now to Aaron Riley, who has had great finishes the past couple weeks. He's finished within the top 10 the past 3 or 4 weeks, and 2 of those weeks had top 5 performance. Lynn McNeese, one of those drivers, trying to get his way in. Right now will make the cutoff for the chase. And we do have times rolling in. Chris Samard holds on to the pole for the moment with a 36.748. Great time by the 77. As you see down low, a bunch of drivers getting on the brakes hard, towing it to pit road, getting back out there, trying to run one more lap on fresh tires. Right now we are taking a look at the defending champion, Lupe Gonzalez, run some laps. As Lupe has not yet put down the time. He's coming around for his first time of the night. And he will be placed. Looking to see where he went. He's in 4th at the moment with a 36.864. Great job at Lupe there. As you'll see now, him elect to dip down to that bottom line. Lynn McNeese coming back out. Looks like Brian Neff still out there running. Brian Neff currently in the... Gotta take a look here. He is in the 19th position. Not sure if he has a time down yet. I don't believe he does. Because right now we do have 17 drivers with laps down on the track. Excuse me, we have 18 drivers with laps down on the track, ranging from a 36.746, but down by Shane Papala now. You go back to 18th, that is Dean Viney with a 38.990. Drivers who have not taken times. Points leader right now, Seth Hatchell, Joe Owen, and Travis Wall. We did have one just take a time. I believe that was... Trying to make sure here we got the right name. I believe Travis Wall was the taker there. So you have 2 drivers without time. Seth Hatchell and Joe Owen will be your 2 drivers not taking qualifying time with just over 1 minute remaining in qualifying. See Lynn McNeese trying to get back out there. He's going to lose it coming off the corner. So he will most likely be done for qualifying. Jeff Glockner right now is reaching the 88. He is back in 17th, trying to get a better time in there. As right now he is about 7/10 off of the pole. Still no time from Seth Hatchell and Joe Owen. Joe Owen is sitting on the track. Hasn't left the pits quite yet, and Seth Hatchell has not even entered his car for qualifying. So it looks like he's going to want to try to battle it from the back to the front tonight. With a 77 Chris Samard, that Mountain Dew machine, trying to get around and get just 2 thousandths over Shane Papala right now. And it doesn't look like... Oh, we'll have a new pole sitter. Keith Mayato will take it last second. And Travis Wall takes it right back from him. We had a flip of the top 5, really. As it was a late lap put in by Travis Wall to get that top time. Seth Hatchell and Joe Owen were your 2 to not take a time. We'll flip through the qualifying grid as they get done here, and then we'll take a look at tonight's starting grid at Michigan International Speedway. As you see the two of Justin Kern back on the track tonight, looking to put on a show for Max Rev Motorsports, and they have, I believe, two drivers in the top 10. One has the pole and one in 6th. And we are flipping to the grid, so let's go ahead with the drivers here tonight and take a look at tonight's starting grid. It will be Travis Wall from Max Rev Motorsports starting on the pole tonight in the 44. Keith Mayato will be starting second tonight for GAC Racing. We're waiting for Travis to grid. It doesn't look like he's going to quite grid yet, so we'll go to the second row. Shane Papala of MB Motorsports will start third. Chris Samard of GAC Racing will start fourth. Adam Baker of MB Motorsports will start 5th tonight, with Stephen Burnett starting 6th for Max Rev Motorsports. Joe Mitchell of MB Motorsports will start 7th tonight, and Lupe Gonzalez of 575 Motorsports will start 8th. Bob Skinner of Mayhem Motorsports will start 9th tonight, and Aaron Riley of SoMO Racing will start 10th. Jim Locking of GAC Racing will start 11th tonight. David Howard of Diamond State Racing will start 12th. Brian Neff will start 13th tonight. Justin Kern of Max Rev Motorsports will start 14th. Lynn McNeese of GAC Racing will be joined with teammate David Gainforth of GAC Racing in the 15th and 16th position. Jeff Glockner of SoMO Racing will start 17th, and he'll start right beside teammate Paul Zoda of SoMO Racing in 18th. Dean Viney of GAC Racing will start 19th, and Seth Hatchell of MB Motorsports will start 20th. And rounding out your field tonight will be Joe Owen of Fury Motorsports starting 21st. The drivers are coming around this 2-mile long track, getting ready to go green. And we saw Keith Mayato win the June race here. Travis Wall trying to make an upset, trying to get some points for Max Rev Motorsports to inch their way closer to SoMO Racing in that team standing. And as we get ready to go to the green flag here tonight, we want to remind everybody at home to hit that subscribe button, because next week the Lazy Days Cup Series heads to the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, for the Bristol 145, and you can catch all the action live here on PBR Broadcasting. And the pace car does dip in. And the green flag is out. 145 laps of action here tonight at Michigan International Speedway. Travis Wall gets a great jump off the start. He's going to get that bottom lane going into turn 1. We're taking a look through the field to see where the big moves are so far. No big moves. We do have David Howard Jr. up a spot. He's going to lose it back, as it is David Howard Jr. And we're trying to take a look here. Brian Neff, I believe, are going at it. David Howard Jr. stuck on that high side. Brian Neff down low. Shane Papala, last year's winner for this race, up into third. It's going to get the pass on Chris Samard. Now taking it to the 09 of Keith Mayato. He will make the pass on that bottom side. Keith Mayato stuck on that high side. We saw him lead 104 laps last year here, or last race here, in that caution-free race. We do not have, our biggest mover right now is the points leader, Seth Hatchell. 2 spots gained, and actually Brian Neff is going to go at it with him. That's Aaron Riley. Go back to Brian Neff, who had 2 spots gained. He has since given a spot up to Jim Locking. And we're going to see this battle up front. And right now, the fastest lap is last year's defending champion, Lupe Gonzalez, with a 36.946. And Keith Mayato is going to push his way back into the top as he's going to go door to door with the 89 of Shane Papala. They're going to go back and forth for that top spot. And really, 2nd through 6, you can throw a blanket over because they're all by each other. They're going to go 2 by 2. We're not seeing single file action yet here tonight. Shane Papala is on that high side. He's getting the run off the corner he needs. And Stephen Burnett of Max Rev Motorsports trying to get that run down there as well. As right now you do have 2 drivers from GAC Racing in the top 5. 2 drivers from Max Rev Motorsports in the top 5. And joining them will be Shane Papala of MB Motorsports. So really all the contenders for the points, the team championship up there trying to battle it out. Chris Samard is going to run into this problem. So is Stephen Burnett. Back to Chris Samard. He just got passed for the 4th position. And Stephen Burnett's fallen. Not sure what's going on to Burnett as we have a big pileup. First caution of the night. Let's take a look here. And there was 2 Max Rev Motorsports drivers involved in that. Justin Kern's going to get wrapped up. Let's take a look with our first caution of the night. We'll see here, as there was definitely a checkup. We're going to take one more look back. As Stephen Burnett comes down, he's going to get clipped by the 82 of Bob Skinner, and that's where the pileup is going to start. Looks like David Howard Jr. involved, Jeff Glockner involved, a late driver, I believe that was the 24 of Joe Owens, going to get involved. Brian Neff, Lynn McNeese, Lupe Gonzalez is involved. This is going to take a lot of big hitters out of the race early tonight. I believe Jim Locking was also, yes, Jim Locking was involved. We'll take a look through the drivers that were involved here. Jim Locking, Bob Skinner, Stephen Burnett. Looks like he might have gotten the least amount of damage out of that. Lupe Gonzalez. Lynn McNeese, engine blown. We'll probably see him done for the night. Brian Neff took a tow. Justin Kern took a tow. Jeff Glockner with a tow. And Joe Owen has already called it a night and taken his car behind the wall. So early in this race, big momentum changer. We'll go back live as these guys are coming down pit road. And it does look like we had 1 driver stay out. Yes, Dean Viney stays out to gain a bonus point. Take a look at the pit stops and how they round out. So Dean Viney leads his first lap of the night. It'll be the first lead change as well. We'll see how many drivers elect to stay on the track after taking damage. And Keith Mayato, no, Shane Papala is going to get out first. Travis Wall with a long stop. I think he might have gotten caught speeding as he's waiting for everybody to pass him. But he is going to be the biggest faller in that chain of events there. It would be Shane Papala, Keith Mayato, Chris Samard, Adam Baker, Joe Mitchell, Aaron Riley, David Howard Jr., David Gainforth, and rounding out your top 10 will be Paul Zoda. As now, Travis Wall is going to come off pit road. We'll take a look at the rest of the stops. As you see, Stephen Burnett still on pit road getting damage fixed. So with that, we had a big pileup for the first caution, really, of the year at Michigan, and it comes early here tonight. We'll see if Dean Viney does. No, he is going to stay out. He is going to continue to try to lead laps here tonight. as he stays out on 7-lap old tires. As they are getting ready to go green, we'll see Dean Viney up front leading this race as he is the only driver who did not go down pit road. Shane Papala in second. We saw him win last year's race at this time. Chris Samard up front trying to get a win as well, as I don't believe he is locked into the chase at the moment. Keith Mayato back there trying to continue his streak and get his 6th win of the year. And Joe Mitchell cracks into the top 5. No, that is Adam Baker in the top 5. Joe Mitchell in 6th. Joe Mitchell working his way towards the front. Paul Zota. No, actually, Dean Viney is your biggest mover at the moment with 18 positions gained. Paul Zota will be your second with 9. And the pace car is going to dip in, and we're going to get ready to go back. Green flag racing for the second time. There is the green flag. We're back to racing here at Michigan International Speedway. And Shane Papala is going to beat Dean Viney to the line. He is going to get his first lap led for a 3rd lead change of the night. Dean Viney is going to take it into 1, though. Shane Papala is getting the run off the edge. Dean Viney is going to snap a little bit loose, and here comes Keith Mayato on his inside. 3 wide for 2nd place. They're going to back out of that and get stuck behind the 71 as he's now going to dip down into the line. Now Keith Mayato goes to the bottom. Dean Viney trying to pinch his way down there as well. They're going to go 3 wide now with Keith Mayato and the 18 of Joe Mitchell up top. They're looking around trying to figure out which way to go. Joe Mitchell almost clear. Now he is. David Howard Jr. on that high side. As now Dean Viney getting shuffled through the field. Travis Wall trying to make up his speeding penalty on pit road. Dean Viney has fallen all the way from 1st to 7th, as now he's going to get a little bit loose coming out of the corner. And Aaron Riley right behind him. Aaron Riley he did not have the fastest time. We had that wrong there. The fastest time still does now belong to Travis Wall with a 30. The best time is a 36.975. They're going to go 3 wide for a moment. That was Aaron Riley and Seth Hatchell as the points leader now trying to get around Dean Viney. We'll go up front because it's Shane Papala and Chris Samard battling it out. Dean Viney's fall continues as now Paul Zota up into 8th. And Paul Zota is not, we were going to say he is the hard charger right now, but that is actually Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell, the points leader, all the way up into 7th after starting back in 20th. Now we are going to have a battle for the lead here as Joe Mitchell is actually on that bottom side. We're going to have another caution. We're taking a look to see who it might be here. And David Gainforth has blown up. We'll take a look with our 2nd caution of the night. As watch David Gainforth, and it was Dean Viney who stayed out, is gonna get into teammate David Gainforth. Bob Skinner gets wrapped up in his 2nd wreck of the night. As we have our 2nd caution. Dean Viney's decision to stay out and gain a bonus point might come back to haunt him now, as he is actually still on the track, but he is running in 11th, trying to catch up to the field. As we have already had 10 drivers call it a night, I do believe. No, we have 8 drivers who have called it a night. It does look like. It looks like actually Joe Owen and Lupe Gonzalez are the only 2 drivers to end their night of racing. Brian Neff, Justin Kern, Lynn McNeese, Jeff Glockner still on pit road, Bob Skinner, David Gainforth on pit road, Jim Locking and Stephen Burnett trying to make their way back onto the lead lap. They are 4 and 5 laps down. Actually, they are both 5 laps down. As Shane Papala is going to stay out. And Burnett hoping he would go down to pit road. Doesn't look like he will. So we'll probably see Stephen Burnett come down and get some of that damage fixed. As Joe Mitchell will come out in second. Take a look back there real quick. Joe Mitchell coming off pit road now in that 18 M&M machine. In third right now, Keith Mayato, Chris Samard in fourth. And rounding out your top 5, the 44 is going to make his way back into the top 5 after a early race mistake. And it does look like right now we only have 11 drivers on the track. And I'm not sure if Aaron Riley got caught up in that last accident, but he is set on pit road, scored as 10th. With right now we are showing Jim Locking actually 3 laps down. Stephen Burnett is 5. But after that, we don't have any drivers on the track. The last driver on the lead lap. And we'll see if Aaron Riley comes out on the lead lap. As he's coming back onto the track, he will be your last driver on the lead lap. So 10 drivers on the lead lap. 12 drivers remaining on the track. As Shane Papala right now showing that he knows this track. He's going for his second. Actually, this will be his second race this season that he's been a repeat winner from last year's race, as he won the Lake Pocono race last year and won it this year as well. He is last year's highest finisher at this track. He's got a lot of work still left on his hands, and with only 10 drivers on that lead lap, you gotta imagine we're gonna start seeing some green flag laps ran here, as Jim Locking's gonna move up into 12th now, with Bob Skinner and David Gainforth still sitting on pit road. Stephen Burnett has still got a lot of work to do. He's 5 laps down. He went in, got some more damage repaired. That car's looking better and better every time he comes back out. But I know he was hoping that maybe we'd get a couple cautions. Maybe he would see some more track time here tonight and try to get back on that lead lap. Lynn McNeese makes his way back onto the track. He will be scored 9 laps down. So we are going to gain another driver on the track. 13 drivers. Travis Wall. Not sure what happened there, but he is dropping back. He's going to go through the pits. Is he going to stop? He is going to stop. So I'm not sure if he had a black flag and just decided he's going to try to top off that tank and get back out there. And right now we are showing Adam Baker, the last car in the top 5. Seth Hatchell, the points leader, right on his outside. And behind him, a driver we haven't seen up front a lot this year, the 99 of Paul Zoda. As it looks like Paul made a manufacturer change this week. He's been known to drive the Fords. He is out there in a Toyota tonight. as he is right alongside teammate Aaron Riley, also in a Toyota. Not sure if that team decided to go straight Toyotas across the board. Go back to Jeff Glockner, as he's still running a Chevy, so that team has not decided to go all Toyota just yet. Meanwhile, MB Motorsports will take the front row, GAC Racing will take the second row. And then MB Motorsports will take the third row, SoMO Racing in the fourth row. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Pace car is going to get ready to dip down. There it goes. We've got tons of racing left here tonight, as Shane Papala is going to get ready to go. Green flag is out. We're back to racing here at Michigan International Speedway. And he's going to get a great jump on the 18 of Joe Mitchell. Keith Mayato is going to follow him right behind. As actually Keith Mayato is going to move into that second position pretty easily. And now Adam Baker looking around. Aaron Riley moves up into 7th, passing Paul Zota. Let's go back to Adam Baker, as he is kind of stuck in this mix. He has got cars all around him, basically. As now he's got teammates. They're going to look to go 3 wide here for the moment. Are they going to get it to 3 wide? Adam Baker on the bottom side. They are now 3 wide. Adam Baker, Joe Mitchell, and Keith Mayato for the second position, as Shane Papala leads them out of the corner. Or into the corner. Now coming out of the corner, they're going to break it back down to 2 wide, as it does. They looked for a moment to go 3 wide for third. Joe Mitchell is going to clear that pretty quickly, as now Adam Baker moves into position behind the 77 of Chris Samard. Chris Samard's going to go high. That's going to give the position to Adam Baker. As are we having a battle up front? We are. Keith Mayato on that bottom side, and he's going to make it work. Does he lead the lap? Not quite yet, but it will be Keith Mayato up front for the moment. Can he hold it on the bottom side coming out of the corner now? As now Shane Papala on the high side. Shane elected to stay out, and here comes the 71, a lap car. Shane Papala is going to claim it back from Keith, but here they come into turn number 3, coming out of 4. They're going to go 3 wide with the lap car of Dean Viney, the 71. And Shane Papala might have had to check up just a little to get around the 71, as now Joe Mitchell is going to try to battle him out for the second position. Keith Mayato will get his first lap led, as now Joe Mitchell is going to battle for the lead. We got smoke on the track. Not sure who has blown their motor, but somebody taking it down to the pits as they're on the backstretch. Joe Mitchell is still battling with Shane Papala, trying to make a clear pass on the 89, as the smoke getting thicker coming around 3 and 4. Somebody was going down to the pits. I believe that was Stephen Burnett. He tried to save that car, tried to get back onto the lead lap. That is not going to work, as he is coming down to the pits with a blown motor, as we're still battling it out in the top 3. Shane Papala elected to stay off that last caution, as now Joe Mitchell, Adam Baker trying to get around the 89 with Keith Mayato out front, as he is starting to build a lead. So double them up right now. MB Motorsports right behind Keith Mayato. And then you got GAC Racing teammate for Keith Mayato, Chris Samard, and then you got another MB Motorsports, Adam Baker back there, and Seth Hatchell trying to join into the party as well. Aaron Riley will sit behind them with Max Rev Motorsports, Travis Wall. Looks like their last hope for a good points finish here tonight. We're going to continue to watch this battle for the second and third position. Take a look at how they separate right now, as you see Papala still trying to hold on to second. He's got Adam Baker, who looks like he might be inching for a 3 wide situation, but he's going to stick it behind Shane Papala right now, trying to get around teammate Joe Mitchell. They are going to come out of the corner with a ton of speed, and they are going to pass by the 18 of Joe Mitchell with no problem is now the 48 of Adam Baker, and that BZ Designs machine trying to make his passes. He will now move into second. Shane Papala still up there, trying to battle, trying to hold on with those old tires. Points leader Seth Hatchell is in the mix right now in the top 5. Behind him, you have a bunch of cars. Joe Mitchell actually moving up into 4th at the moment. Chris Samard in 6th. Travis Wall in 7th. You go back to Aaron Riley in 8th, and you got to go back a ways to David Howard Jr. in 9th, riding out your top 10. And the last car on the lead lap, that would be Paul Zoda, top 10. Really not too far from each other, as I believe it's 4.5 will separate the top 10. But really, it's the battle for second right now that's going on. And we might have seen an issue with Joe Mitchell as he's falling all the way to 8th now, just getting passed by Aaron Riley. We'll go back to second right now because that battle is still going, as Shane Papala now on the bottom side, as he's going to get passed by Adam Baker. It looks like Adam will clear him pretty well going into turn 3. As now Seth Hatchell is going to try to get that run on the bottom side, try to get around Shane Papala and move into the top 3. And in the meanwhile, Keith Mayato out to a 1.5 second lead. Keith Mayato was the champion of this race back in June. And we had a car losing. That was Adam Baker. Adam Baker able to save it. No damage on that 48, but he is going to fall back into 9th as David Howard Jr. is going to get around him. Go up to Seth Hatchell, who just moved back a position as well. Great driving by these guys to avoid that wreck, and great driving by Adam Baker to save that car. But that is going to put Keith Mayato out to a bigger lead, as they went 3 wide for a moment, but they're going to keep it 2 wide coming out of the corner. Joe Mitchell trying to get some position once again after falling back. Watching the points leader, the number 8 of Seth Hatchell. We'll take a look through here really quick, see where our battles are at. And I believe it is going to be Joe Mitchell looking to get around the 44 of Travis Wall. As drivers start to spread out, taking a look at the drivers who are still on the track but have been in some damage. Jim Locking in the 91. He's running that South Point car back in 11th. He is 3 laps down, hoping for another caution to get him up back to the lead lap. Dean Viney is 4 laps down after we saw him stay out and get involved in a wreck. Lynn McNeese on the track. He is 9 laps down. And I believe that is it for drivers on the track. Stephen Burnett, Lupe Gonzalez, Justin Kern, Joe Owen all called it a night. Bob Skinner, David Gainforth, Brian Neff, and Jeff Glockner still waiting for those cars to get fixed on pit road. It's a long race here tonight with 290 miles of racing. And they're just now coming to lap 30. Keith Mayato set sail once he took the lead early on in this race. Chris Samard back there in 2nd. Shane Papala in 3rd. As the battle right now still for that 3rd position between Shane Papala and Joe Mitchell. Shane able to hold on to that car after staying out. Looking at how many laps he has on those tires. as he leads the field right now with 24.5, coming to 25 laps on those tires, compared to everybody else with a 17, almost 18 laps on those tires. You would figure the front tire changer for Kurt Busch would know everything that a tire has to do on the track, as he slipped up a little bit, but it looked like the 18 is going to slip up as well. Seth Hatchell trying to move into the top 3, as they're going to go 3 wide. Big move by the 18. He thought about it for a moment. Travis Wall, not sure what happened to him, but he is going to move up. Joe Mitchell's going to drop all the way from, he was up in 3rd for a moment. He's going to drop all the way down to 7th. And now David Howard Jr. of Diamond State Racing trying to get his way up into the top 5, as he's trying to make the pass around the pole sitter for the night. That was the 44 of Travis Wall in that Piggly Wiggly machine. And a 7 in the Razorback machine, representing his home state of Arkansas. So this is our closest battle right now, as no Travis. Yeah, it will be our closest battle. Joe Mitchell behind them. As we only have 10 drivers on this track, or we do have 13 drivers, 10 drivers on the lead lap. We may see this thing go green flag from here on out. We'll start to see some pit strategy, as you're going to see pit stops anywhere from lap 30 to lap 40 here tonight. You may want to take them early, because those tires will want that pit stop. As the 7 of David Howard Jr. still battling with the 44, trying to make his way into that top 5. And we saw David win the Truck Series race here. So I imagine we'll see him try to push forward and try to put the pressure on the 09 of Keith Mayotta, who's cruised out to a 3.4 second lead. As David's going to move up into 4th for him in the moment, as he's now battling with Shane Papala, and Joe Mitchell just quietly follows the 7 past the 44 as they're working around the 84 of Lynn McNeese, who is a lap car. Lynn McNeese now 10 laps down. Looking to see when we're going to get our first pit stops, green flag stops here tonight. Taking a look at drivers and how they have pitted so far. We've got 2 drivers that have taken every pit stop they could here tonight. That was David Howard Jr., who has 3 stops tonight, followed by Travis Wall with 3 stops. And I think we actually saw Travis take 2 stops and 1 caution. It does look like your fastest time on pit road this last pit stop was David Howard Jr. with a 28.9 from the start of pit road to the end of pit road. Not sure if he took 2 or what he did to get that time, because he only had a 4.5 second stop. Did he even take tires, as they had a short run that last time? Joe Mitchell, in the meantime, is going to work his way into the top 5 and get around Shane Papala to move into the 4th position. And Shane Papala is going to run into a little bit of issues. Looks like he's going to get loose. He's going to keep it off the wall, but it looks like it might have checked up the 7 of David Howard Jr. just enough to not get that run off the corner and actually let Travis Wall make the pass on David Howard. And as we get near lap 45, remember, we are going to have a trivia question tonight relating to Michigan International Speedway. Make sure to stay tuned. Lap 45, you'll get the question. Lap 125, you'll get the answer here live on PBR Broadcasting. We got a good one for you here tonight. David Howard Jr. does move back into the 6th position, getting back around Travis Wall. And let's take a run through the field to see where everybody sits on the track right now. Keith Mayato is up front, 20 laps led for Keith here tonight. He did start 2nd, and he has had no problem once he's got the lead here tonight. Seth Hatchell, the points leader, 18 positions gained for him as he started back in 20th, now up in 2nd. Chris Samard, running back in 3rd currently, started in 4th. Joe Mitchell, who started 7th tonight, up into 4th tonight. David Howard Jr., who started way back in 12th, has made his way into the top 5. Travis Wall, who was on the pole, now sits back in 6th. Shane Papalo right behind him. I believe he started 3rd tonight. He is back in 7th. Aaron Riley, who was involved in an accident early, able to get that car somewhat fixed up back on the track. He started in 10th. He is now in 8th. Go back to 9th. Adam Baker, who started 5th, has fallen back to 9th after his spin. He's got a little bit of damage on that car. Not sure if those tires are ready to be changed. Paul Zoda, who started 18th, now up into 10th. He's your last car on the lead lap. Jim Locking started in 11th, still sits in 11th. He is 3 laps down. Dean Viney, who started in 20, I believe he started in 19th actually. He started in 19th tonight. He is currently showing in 12th, 5 laps down. And you go to Lynn McNeese, or excuse me, Dean is 5 laps down. Lynn McNeese is 10 laps down. He started in 15th tonight. He is in 13th. Those are your drivers on the track. The rest of the drivers who are sitting in pit road or have called it a night. Stephen Burnett looks to have called it a night. He started, trying to figure out here, he started, I believe he started in 6th tonight. Looks like he will finish 14th. Bob Skinner, also another one of those drivers who fell pretty hard. He started 9th, will finish 15th. David Gainforth, who started 16th, looks like he'll finish 16th tonight. Lupe Gonzalez looks to be the biggest faller of the drivers out of this race herd tonight, as he started in 8th and he is going to finish the night in 17th. Brian Neff will also fall 6 positions from 12th to 18th. Justin Kern would fall 6 from 13th to 19th. Jeff Glockner would also fall 3 positions from 17th to 20th. Joe Owen, who started 21st on the field, will finish 21st as well. So a lot of drivers out of this thing early. We had a big pileup to start the race, and then we had a pretty good wreck the second time around as Dean Viney now trying to make his way around Seth Hatchell. He's going to try to jump in front of him, and it looks like he might have gotten a tap by the 8 who was trying to get around him. As he is now coming down pit road. So we'll have our first stop of this long stop as we've hit lap 45. Aaron Riley coming down pit road now. Take a look at what drivers are coming down pit road. Joe Mitchell, thought he might be coming down pit road, but he's elected to stay out. So 2 drivers on pit road. We'll go to the trivia question for the night. Trivia question is, which driver has led the most laps in Michigan International Speedway history? Stay tuned right here on PBR Broadcasting, because on lap 125 the answer will be revealed. As we are waiting to see who will be the next driver down pit road. Aaron Riley coming off pit road now. It does look like Dean Viney has parked his car for the night. As we'll look to see if he comes back on the track. But we are now down to 9 drivers on that lead lap. As right now the battle is right here for the third position. David Howard Jr. got around the 77. And it looks like he will remain in that third position. We do have another pit stop. That is Adam Baker bringing his 48 BZ Designs machine down pit road. As we're now going to move to 12 drivers remaining on the track, with Dean Viney taking his car behind the wall. As we are still battling for this third position, Chris Samard trying to make it work. Joe Mitchell now behind them, trying to get around the 77. And Joe Mitchell, it doesn't look like he was going to come down pit road, and he will not. As Chris Samard's kind of left to wondering when these guys are going to go down pit road, as he is stuck on that high side with Joe Mitchell on the low side. As it looks like that'll work itself out with the 77 of Chris Samard dropping down in front of the 18. They are going to get close. No contact there. But now it will be the 18 going back to the inside, trying to make the run on the bottom side. Late in a run that can be dangerous. We do have another driver coming down pit road. That is the 89 of Shane Papala. As he'll bring his car down. He led this race early on. Or actually, does Shane have any laps left? Let's take a look here real quick. Yes, Shane has 11 laps led. We'll go back out front to that battle between Chris Samard and Joe Mitchell. As Chris Samard looks to be dropping off, I think we are going to have the leader coming to pit road, Keith Mayato. No, he has slowed up. Not sure what has happened to Keith, but he has given up tons of time. As we're showing him with a 2-second gap. We saw him out to a 4-second gap at one point. Seth Hatchell starting to hunt him down. Jim Locking came down pit road. He has come off pit road since. So who will be the next driver down pit road? As we are still on 12 drivers remaining on the track. Jim Locking, who is 4 laps down, has moved up into the, actually he stayed in the 11th position. Lynn McNeese did move ahead of Dean Viney for that 12th position. As we're looking through the field, right now we are pretty spread out. We do have one battle back here with Aaron Riley and Shane Papala, 2 drivers that have pitted. And late in this run, Seth Hatchell is making his way on Keith Mayato, who might be trying to stretch that car to the limit, trying to get as many laps as he can. He gave up a ton of time, but now Seth Hatchell down pit road, and he's going to be joined by David Howard Jr. So 2 drivers in the top 5 down pit road. That is going to leave Keith Mayato, Joe Mitchell, Chris Samard, who was giving up a ton of time there to cars that have pitted. Paul Zoda will make his way into the top 5 for the first time tonight. But we are seeing a lot of drivers now. And we may have looked like for a second there we froze up. We did not. Joe Mitchell now down pit road. And that'll move Paul Zoda up into 4th. Adam Baker will get his lap back as he's going to make the pass on Seth Hatchell. Go back to Adam Baker, who is back on the lead lap after his pit cycle. We'll look to see, actually Seth Hatchell is going to make the pass on the leader right now, Keith Mayato, and also get back on the lead lap. We do have 6 drivers on the lead lap. Chris Samard now comes down pit road. If I don't move Paul Zota up into the top 3. I know Paul's looking for some points. Maybe we'll see Keith Mayato and Travis Wall coming down, and we'll see Paul Zota lead a lap. As Adam Baker and Seth Hatchell back on the lead lap right now. Take a look at David Howard Jr. Keith Mayato looks to be coming down pit road as he will get back on the lead lap. We're going to see a lot of drivers getting back on the lead lap. Travis Wall coming in hot. He is going to lock him up. Does he get another speeding penalty? As the top 2 come in, does Paul Zota stay out? He will. So Paul Zota will get his first lap lead of the night. He might have to go around one more time to get that lap lead. And it does look like he will. So Paul Zota will have to lead another lap to get his lap led. But he's got a pretty good lead right now on what will be second place, Adam Baker. As Adam Baker getting ready to come around those 2 in the pits. Seth Hatchell will also move into 3rd. David Howard Jr. moves up into 4th. Shane Papala up into 5th. Aaron Riley 6th. Joe Mitchell 7th. And Chris Samard in 8th. Now, we're going to have to watch Travis Wall as he comes back out of the pits here. As Keith Mayato will come out in 9th. Paul Zota does lead a lap. He'll get 2 laps led now. As he's going to stay out. And I'm not sure if this is correct, as I don't think it is updated quite yet. But I think Adam Baker has a 15-second interval to get to Paul Zota, who is yet to pit tonight. And we've got to check on Travis Wall. Did he get a speeding penalty? And it looks like he will stay out. So it doesn't look like the 44 got a speeding penalty there. And he is going to get his lap back. Paul Zota now down pit road after leading 3 laps. So he'll get a bonus point. And now your new leader, Adam Baker. Seth Hatchell right behind him. You got a 4.5 second gap back to David Howard Jr. He's actually going to make that a 4-second gap. But points leader Seth Hatchell right behind Adam Baker. Those 2 are your 1 and 2 places in the point standings. And I know Adam Baker, even though he may not get a ton of points from this race, he will definitely get a point and move his way towards Seth Hatchell. Seth Hatchell is now going to take the lead back over from Adam Baker. So the points leader up front now. And he is going to try to stay as far away from Keith Mayato as he can. As you saw this 60, I believe, of Brian Neff, who's going to make his way back onto the track. He has definitely got some distance to make up here, as he is currently 54 laps down. But Brian Neff trying to get out there and get in front of some of these drivers who have called it a night. as we are going to see a bunch of drivers right now up front. Actually, we only have 9 drivers on that lead lap. Paul Zota did just come off pit road. He will get lapped by Seth Hatchell. We are getting near the halfway point here tonight, and we're going to have a lot of drivers calling it tonight. Lynn McNeese took his car behind the wall. So with Brian Neff coming back on, we will actually have still 12 drivers on the track. Lynn McNeese actually may be coming back onto the track. Yes, he is coming back onto the track. And it looks like we'll have another driver coming back on. That is David Gainforth coming back on the track. He will be scored as 50 laps down. So this race back at the tail end of the field is going to start to heat up. Can David Gainforth and Brian Neff make it to the end of the race, get as many laps get as many laps as they can? And now we are going to see Bob Skinner come back onto the track. So we're going to have 3 drivers who were 15th through 17th who got involved early on in wrecks in this race here tonight. They are coming back onto the track. So we're going to have 9 drivers on the lead lap. Take a look around the field as we look for some battles here. Really, that green flag stop is going to spread the field out pretty well. As you see, just the distance right now between driver to driver. Paul Zota is a lap down, he is in the lucky dog position right now with 1 lap down. He's actually the only driver 1 lap down at the moment. We just took a look at your drivers on that lead lap. We'll go back to Paul Zota, who's in 10th. He is 1 lap down. Jim Locking, who is in 11th, he is 4 laps down. Lynn McNeese, 11 laps down. Then you go back to this interesting battle back here. In 15th, David Gainforth, 50 laps down. Bob Skinner, 51 laps down. And Brian Neff, 54 laps down. Look at Brian Neff of Can-Am Motorsports back here. As David Gainforth will get the pass on Stephen Burnett now. Go back front, Seth Hatchell. He hasn't really extended his lead very well. David Howard Jr. is still kind of within grasp, 2.5 seconds back. As we're going to have another 2 pit stops unless somebody can make the full stretch really far to the end here. Lynn McNeese out there, he will go another lap down. He will be 12 laps down now. Now we did have a pass within the top 5. Adam Baker is going to get passed by Chris Samard. You saw Baker make that early stop. Baker does not have the most laps on his tires. That would be Aaron Riley with 22.6, coming to 23 laps on his tires. And Adam Baker now at 21 laps on his tires. We did get word from Stephen Burnett just a second ago what happened during his caution. He says he was clipped, got washed up into, pushed high, went into Bob Skinner. Bob Skinner was... He got clipped, was washed up into another driver, got pushed high, and then Skinner moved up as he was moving down, both back into the race groove. Just kind of a big pile up there for Stephen Burnett, who was running great early on in this race. And we are taking a look through the field as really there, everybody is spread out through the field. As we'll take a look back up front, Seth Hatchell has pretty much put this thing on cruise control, 2.5 seconds ahead. But you know what? We saw a driver earlier with just a big of a lead fall after his pit stop. Keith Mayato stayed out maybe a little too long, and he is now sitting back in 7th, and he's got a 15-second gap to Seth Hatchell. So he's definitely going to hope for maybe a caution, but I don't know if we'll see that. We are having a lot of cars come back onto the track, as we did see David Gainforth, Bob Skinner, and Brian Neff all make the pass around Stephen Burnett. So they are 14th, 15th, and 16th now at the moment. Your fastest time on the track, well, that would be a 36.930 put on by Adam Baker. Your fastest lap last time around, we'll wait for these to update as Seth Hatchell has already come around, but your fastest lap at the time would be Keith Mayato with a 38.159. So that shows you kind of the drop off these drivers are getting, as he's now going to get they're going to correct it to a 38.260. Still the fastest lap time out there for this time around. And we are going to see a pass. Adam Baker is going to get passed now by Shane Papalo. He's going to move back into the top 5. And we are showing one driver still on the track. He has not come out of pit road, and that is Jeff Glockner. He is still in this thing, trying to watch it and see what's going on, see if maybe he has the possibility of coming back onto the track. Seth Hatchell is out front though, no problem for him. He's gonna put David Gainforth back down one more lap. That'll make David Gainforth 51 laps down, as Bob Skinner 52, Brian Neff 54 laps down, Lynn McNeese 12, Jim Locking 4, Paul Zoda 1 lap down. Paul Zoda is in that 10th position, and he does have the bonus point, so he's having a pretty good run out there. He's able to avoid those 2 big wrecks and basically plant himself in the top 5 or top 10 with no problem. Keith Mayato's now gained a second on Seth Hatchell, who hasn't really pulled away from David Howard Jr. as much as we thought he would. And we're actually seeing Keith Mayato get close to Adam Baker, who may be getting ready to come down pit road. He's got 28, coming to 29 laps on those tires. And we are actually going to see the leader come down pit road. Seth Hatchell comes down, giving the lead up to David Howard Jr. He's going to gain his first bonus point of the night. He did win that truck race in the SoMO Truck Series. We are going to see Adam Baker also come down pit road. And we might have seen Seth Hatchell run into a problem. Nope, we did not. So we were showing that he may have disconnected, but Adam Baker on pit road. Paul Zoda is going to get back on the lead lap for the moment. And now I believe we'll see Joe Mitchell coming down pit road. We will. So he will come down pit road. We're going to see some more pit stops here tonight as these drivers come down on lap 78. David Howard Jr. up front, though, having some fun leading this race. He has coming to a 4-second gap on Chris Samard. Not sure what's happening to Chris back there, but he is losing a ton of time to the 7 of David Howard Jr. Travis Wall moves up into 6th. Joe Mitchell still on pit road, as he has that left side jacked up. Now he is coming down pit road to get off onto the track. And I think we had a speeding penalty by the leader, Seth Hatchell. He is back down on pit road, as he's having some issues there. But he is back on pit road, and it doesn't look like either side of that car is coming up. So tough break there for Seth Hatchell, who had a pretty good run late in this race. But now David Howard Jr., one of those drivers who does not have a win this year, looking for that late season lock into the chase. We noticed the mic was muted, so we will take a look at where everybody sits after the pit cycle here. But we're taking a look. Shane Papala does have 32 laps on his tires. Joe Mitchell is going to get back on that lead lap. Seth Hatchell served a speeding penalty. He just got 1 lap back, so he'll be 1 lap down. Adam Baker, Paul Zota, Seth Hatchell, all 1 lap down. Adam Baker in the lucky dog position. Still to pit would be David Howard Jr., Chris Samard, Shane Papala, Keith Mayato, Aaron Riley, and I believe in that mix is Travis Wall. So your first car that has pitted, that was Joe Mitchell. But David Howard Jr. did win the Truck Series race here this last Tuesday. He's going to get a little bit loose coming off the corner, but he has extended his lead to a 5.5 second lead now on Chris Samard. And now David Howard Jr. does come down pit road. Chris Samard's going to lead his first lap of the night. He will get the lap led. He'll get the bonus point. Chris Samard is leading this race now. Shane Papala in second. Keith Mayato has yet to pit. We saw him stay out late in the last run. He is staying out once again. Paul Zota back on the lead lap. Or excuse me, we'll check to see if Paul Zota is back on that lead lap. No, he is not. Adam Baker is the last car on the lead lap in 8th. Joe Mitchell gets around. David Howard Jr. is coming out of pit road now. as Chris Samard does have a 5-second lead on Shane Papala, who's now got 35, coming to 36 laps on those tires. Aaron Riley comes down pit road, calls it good for that stop. Jim Watkins got 34 laps on his tires. We're waiting to see, does Shane Papala decide he's had enough and come down pit road, as we're on lap 85, still waiting for the end of the pit cycle. Paul Zota back one lap down. He is trying to get around the 77, trying to get back on that lead lap for the first time in a long time since the last pit stop he had. He's going to get a little bit loose, but he's going to force the 77 to stay out one more time. As Shane Papala started to catch him with Paul Zota trying to get around him. Keith Mayato will now come down pit road. He will call it good with 30 laps on those tires. Chris Samard still up front. Shane Papala on pit road. Travis Wall will be in second. David Howard Jr. moving back up into fourth. Joe Mitchell, who was your first driver to pit, is in second as he's going to make his way around Travis Wall. As Keith Mayato now one lap down. Paul Zota is the last driver on the lead lap, as he's got 38 seconds to the leader. Chris Samard, your leader at the moment, as there is a 17-second gap back to Joe Mitchell. Keith Mayato just went around Chris Samard to get back on that lead lap. And I believe Paul Zota does not go down pit road. That will be Keith Mayato getting around him on those fresher tires. Travis Wall up to 33 laps on his set of tires. Shane Papala did come down pit road just a moment ago. Chris Samard coming to 35 laps on his set of tires. As now Shane Papala is going to get around him. And it looks like, and this might just be from what I'm seeing, Chris Samard maybe trying to stretch that fuel 5 more laps and trying to stretch it to the end. It's a big risk. I'm not sure if he can do it, but it sounds like he may be clutching that car, trying to get as much fuel mileage as he can out of this stop. As he is staying out still. David Gainforth did get around Dean Viney to move into 13th. We will see Bob Skinner and Brian Neff shortly make the pass as well. But Chris Samard still does have a 10-second gap on Joe Mitchell, who's already got 15 laps on his tires. Chris Samard currently coming to 38 laps, but there is a 2-second difference in lap times. So before too long, we will see Chris Samard coming down pit road for the, maybe not the final time tonight, but he is definitely trying to push that car to the final stop. Chris Samard still holds on to that 7-second lead. When does he come down pit road? We're still waiting for those final stops as we are waiting for Chris Samard to come down pit road. We're waiting for Travis Wall to come down pit road. Paul Zota has yet to pit. And that is it for your drivers on the lead lap, as Aaron Riley is going to get around Chris Samard, get back on the lead lap now. Brian Neff back there trying to get enough laps gained to get around Dean Viney. He does. So Brian Neff moves up into 15th now. That car is all beat up, but he is out there trying to do what he can at the moment. Bob Skinner would also gain a position with no nose on that car. David gained 4th up there as well. Lap 94 here tonight. They're stretching it long on this stop. But Chris Samard is seeing his time fall pretty quickly down to 3.5 as Joe Mitchell, even with 19 laps, he is beating those 40-lap old tires as he's coming around to lap 41. He's going to have 50 laps when we come to the line. I'm not sure how much Chris has saved on this run, but if he can get another 5 laps out of those tires, he may be done pitting for the night as these guys all get ready to make their final stops for the night. Chris Samard's going to watch his time go down below 1 second. Joe Mitchell starting to catch him. 42 laps on those tires now for Chris Samard. 15 laps gained, or 15 laps led. David Howard Jr. is not far behind either, as David actually has six laps less on his tires than Joe Mitchell. And now Joe Mitchell taking over the lead. I think we're going to see Chris Samard come down pit road as he was stuck to that bottom side. He will not. And joining him in a long run here, Paul Zota, 41 laps, coming to 42 laps on his tires. Take a look through here as David Howard Jr. is going to get around Chris Samard. Chris Samard still trying to stretch that fuel, trying to make it to 45. As he is going to hit the brakes hard, trying to come down pit road. Is he going to make it slow down in time? It does look like he will. So he is going to get 44 laps on those tires and come out with 45 to go. As now it is going to come to David Howard Jr. trying to get to Joe Mitchell and make the pass. Meanwhile, Keith Maiato is, take a look here really quick, but I believe he is Oh, he is 11 seconds back, almost 12 seconds back from the leaders. The Chris Samard coming down. The last stop will be Paul Zoda, it looks like this time around, as he's got 41 laps on his tires. But let's take a look at the field and how they sit right now. Joe Mitchell, who started 7th tonight, has his first laps led of the night. 3 now for him. Go back to David Howard Jr., who's in search of that first win of the year, trying to make the pass on Joe Mitchell right now, and he will. He'll get around Joe Mitchell pretty easily there on lap 100, so he will now be scored as your leader and get his 8th lap led tonight, started in 12th. Adam Baker, who started 5th tonight, has 1 lap led in 3rd. Keith Mayato, who started in 2nd, has 36 laps led and is currently scored as 4th. Shane Papala started in 3rd, led 11 laps, now in 5th. Travis Wall is going to get loose coming off the corner. We flipped to him just as that was happening. He is going to come back on the track. Does he hold it till the caution comes out? No, he doesn't. He is going to tow it. And that, unfortunately, is going to do it for Max Rev Motorsports tonight. Big accident there for the 44 as we flip to him. We'll go now to your new 6th place. That is Aaron Riley, who started 10th, now in 6th. Beth Hatchell running in 20th tonight, running in 7th. The points leader also has 16 laps led. Travis Wall did take his car behind the wall. Chris Samard, who started 4th tonight, now in 9th. Tried to make that fuel stretch to the end. He's got 15 laps led. Paul Zoda, who's now on pit road, started 18th. Is currently scored as 8th. He's also got 3 laps led. Travis Wall, who was just in that accident, started on the pole. 5 laps led for Travis, as right now he is scored in 10th. Jim Locking, he is 7 laps down. Make that 6 laps down in 11th. Started in 11th. Lynn McNeese, who is 13 laps down, started in 15th, now in 12th. David Gainforth, who started 16th, has made his way up to 13th with 51 laps down. Bob Skinner, 53 laps down, started 9th, now in 14th. Brian Neff is, I believe, 54 laps down. Oh, he is 55 laps down, started 13th, now in 15th. Other drivers that are out of this race here tonight, as we watch David Howard Jr. lead this race. Travis Wall did just take his car behind the wall. Dean Viney out of the race in 16th. Stephen Burnett out of the race in 17th. Lupe Gonzalez, last year's Cup Series champion, will go out in 18th. Justin Kern in 19th. Jeff Glockner still on the track, has yet to come out, but he is in 20th. Joe Owen will be your last driver on the field. So David Howard Jr. is starting to extend his lead on Joe Mitchell, who already has 28, coming to 29 laps on those tires. And your oldest tires on the track, let's give that to Adam Baker, coming to 30 laps on his tires already in this race, as that's going to set Baker up pretty nicely. If he can make it about another 5 more laps, he will have 35 laps on that last set of tires. And it does look like Travis Wall is going to lose a position to Jim Locking. I believe Lynn McNeese will have a shot at passing him as well. David Gainforth, I believe, is out of reach. So these last pit stops are definitely going to play into effect on how these guys go, as I imagine we see David Howard Jr. pit not long after after we see Joe Mitchell pit. But we are seeing a driver kind of run into some issues. Shane Papala popping in and out of the track at the moment as he makes his way around Adam Baker, as he is still running into problems. Not sure what has happened to the 89 there. Go to Adam Baker so we can get a better picture as we see kind of Shane all over the place. Late in this race, that is one thing you do not want to happen to you. But he will stay in front of Adam Baker for the moment. And it looks to have cleared up for him. Fastest time on the track that time around was Chris Samard, who's got the freshest tires out there with a 38.077. I think you're going to start to see Chris Samard start to get closer to getting back on the lead lap. David Howard Jr. out to a 4-second lead. He is trying to make it happen for the second time here this week. We're going to double check here. Not sure how true to the schedule SoMO followed in the Xfinity Series. I believe they went to Rockingham as opposed to Michigan this week. Yes, that is true. The Lazy Days Racing Xfinity Series went to Rockingham this week, so the winner there was Travis Wall, who unfortunately spun his car today, so he will be out of the race tonight. And here comes David Howard Jr. He is pitting early. He has decided he wants to get this done and over with. And we actually saw Joe Mitchell come down last time. So David Howard Jr. will see Joe Mitchell on pit road as he's going to see that 10-second lead come down. As actually Keith Mayato has decided he's had enough. We're going to see a bunch of drivers coming down pit road. Adam Baker staying out though. So Adam Baker back in the lead as the next three behind him. Actually, we're going to see Aaron Riley stay out, but the three behind Aaron Riley, David Howard Jr., Keith Mayato, Shane Papala, all getting to pit road. Chris Samard's going to get around Keith Mayato and Shane Papala. So is Seth Hatchell and Joe Mitchell. But David Howard Jr. does come out in third. He's got to get around two drivers. And he's got a 21-second gap. And that was a big heartbreaker for the 77 of Chris Samard, who's going to have 13 laps on that set of tires. He was hoping to maybe get back towards the front before they would come back out, but it doesn't look like he will get around Chris Samard. Seth Hatchell will now come down pit road as he will go back one lap down. And we're going to take a look where the team, we're going to take a look at teams and how they sit right now. Adam Baker for MB Motorsports is up front. He'll be your top scorer. Aaron Riley was in second. He's going to come down. He was the top scorer for SoMO Racing. David Howard Jr. for Diamond State Racing, the lone driver for that team. He is running in second at the moment. He's got a good shot at locking himself into the chase tonight. Chris Samard for GAC Racing in third. He's going to get passed by MB Motorsports' Joe Mitchell in fourth, who's now in third. Keith Mayato for GAC Racing back in fifth. Shane Papala for MB Motorsports in sixth. The Aaron Riley in seventh. Paul Zoda for SoMO Racing in 8th. Seth Hatchell for MB Motorsports in 9th. And Jim Locking rounding out your top 10 for GAC Racing. And it does look like Adam Baker down pit road. As Aaron Riley was coming off pit road when David Howard Jr. went by. You see Paul Zota back there. He's got some older tires than David Howard Jr. As we've got 31 to go in this contest here tonight. Let's take a look at the race summary so far here. 12 lead changes now. David Howard Jr. is your leader. 2 cautions, 7 laps, not bad, but they aren't going to beat the last visits here. Record 0 cautions. 31 laps do remain, and your fastest lap of a 36.930 does belong to Adam Baker. Chris Samard's going to come down pit road. Looks like he has had enough after 16 laps. He's going to call it good for the night. Try to get this stop in and try to make his way back up front. Maybe that late push towards the front, or the decision to stay out late the last time did not pay off. Chris Samard getting passed up by Paul Zota and Aaron Riley. Paul Zota in that lucky dog position. 5 cars on the lead lap. So as we come to 30 to go, we want to remind everybody what the trivia question is, because you have 10 laps remaining to get your answers in. Which driver has led the most laps in Michigan International Speedway history? Stay tuned right here on PBR Broadcasting, because on lap 125 the answer will be revealed. David Howard Jr. holding on to that 2.5 second lead over Joe Mitchell. And actually, Joe Mitchell does have older tires by about 1 lap on pretty much the whole top 5. As right now, the oldest tires on the track belong to Jim Locking in 10th. He's got 27, coming to 28 laps on those tires. Right now, your leader only has 7.5, coming to 8 laps on his tires. Joe Mitchell does have 8, coming to 9. We're about to hit lap 120 here, as we've had green flag racing for quite a long time here tonight. David Howard Jr. enjoying this pretty good sized lead. He's got a 2.5 second lead. He is going to see that kind of closing up a little bit with Joe Mitchell behind him. As we're going to go back to Joe Mitchell and see how he's doing back here. He's got Aaron Riley, a lap car, right behind him. You got to go quite a ways back to Keith Mayato. Or excuse me, you only go 5 seconds back to Keith Mayato. And then you go another about 5 seconds back to Shane Papala. And that's another, looks like 15 seconds back to Adam Baker. But really, the whole top 5 are pretty spread out throughout this racetrack. And really, if you want to call it close, the closest battle is between first and second, which is David Howard Jr. and Joe Mitchell. As David Howard Jr. is going to come around to claim his 26th lap lead. We'll have to check here. can lead this thing out and lead another 10, I think he has to actually lead 20 more laps, he will actually lock the most laps led tonight. He does not have the hard charger award by one position. That is Seth Hatchell who has that. And now we are starting to see David Howard Jr. extend his lead. We saw it kind of decrease for a while. We are starting to see Joe Mitchell fall off. We're going to see it drop to 2.6 seconds as we are getting near lap 125. David Howard Jr. just logging away laps. He's got his lead out to 2.7 seconds, but he has only got a 7-second lead right now on Keith Mayato, who won this race back in June. Keith trying to make it 2 in a row at Michigan, and 2 in a row for wins. This from last week, he did win Watkins Glen. Bill Mitchell was in that top 3 as well last week. And as we hit lap 125, we'll get to that trivia question. Once again, the question was, which driver led the most laps in Michigan International Speedway history? The answer, Cale Yarborough, with 1,308 laps led at Michigan International Speedway. And I believe it was Mark Nadeau who got that answer correct tonight. And I'm not sure what we're seeing happen to Joe Mitchell, but he has fallen off big. 1 lap more than these other drivers, and he has fallen off to a 3-second gap between him and David Howard Jr. He's now got a 4-second gap back to Keith Mayato. As we now have the 20 to go, let's take a run through the field and see how everybody sits at the moment. David Howard Jr. started in 12th tonight, now has 30 laps led. Still does not have the most laps led, but he is up front. He's got a ton of time behind him. He's got 20 laps. He can make it happen. We'll go to second. Joe Mitchell has 3 laps led. Started in 7th tonight, now in 2nd. Keith Mayato, who does have the most laps led with 36, started in 2nd tonight, now in 3rd. Go back to Shane Papala, who started in 3rd tonight. 11 laps for him. 11 laps led for Shane as he is now in 4th. Adam Baker, who started in 5th, currently scored as 5th, has 4 laps led. And he'll be your last car on the lead lap. 1 lap down, that'll be Chris Samard. Started in 4th tonight, now in 6th. He also led 15 laps. Seth Hatchell, who ran into some problems on a pit stop, started in 20th, is currently scored as 8th. He's making his way around 2nd place. Actually, he is now 7th. Not sure what happened to make that change happen, but he's making his way around some lap cars and some lead cars. He is now 7th, 16 laps led for him. Aaron Riley, your first car to not lead laps here in the top 10, as he is running in 10th, or he started 10th tonight, now running in 8th. Paul Zoda led 3 laps, started in 18th, now in 9th. Jim Locking will round out your top 10. He is 6 laps down, and he started in 11th tonight. He is now in 10th. Lynn McNeese just pulled down into the pits. He is, I believe, 12, maybe 13 laps down now. The car looks like it has finally given up for the night, and he will hold on to that 11th place position. Started 15th tonight, and once again, he is probably calling it tonight in 11th. David Gainforth on the track. He is 51 laps down, though. He started 16th. He is now in 13th. Bob Skinner, 53 laps down, able to pull that car back onto the track. started in 9th, now in 14th. And Brian Neff, who is 55 laps down, started in 13th and is scored as 15th. David Howard Jr. does extend his lead to a 5-second lead, 16 laps to go. And Joe Mitchell has about 2 seconds back to Keith Mayato. But other drivers who have pulled their cars off the track, Travis Wall, I believe, will make it out of here in 12th. Yeah, he will make it out of here in 12th tonight, so he'll lock that 12th place finish. Dean Viney will come out 16th, Stephen Burnett 17th, Lupe Gonzalez in 18th, Justin Kern 19th, Jeff Glockner 20th, and Joe Owen will round out your field tonight in 21st. We have hit the 15 to go, and Diamond State Racing's David Howard Jr. up front leading this race here tonight. So we're going to stay here locked to the leader. As actually, we're going to take a look back at Joe Mitchell for a little while, as he might have a battle on his hands at the end of this race. Still 2 seconds back to Keith Mayato. And it doesn't look like we're going to see him move much in that 2 seconds. We're seeing it run out of 1.9 at times. Joe Mitchell is going to try to hold on to that second position. Keith Mayato in third. And you go back 5 more seconds to Shane Papala. 13 laps to go for David Howard Jr. He's coming around for the 12 to go. As pretty much it looks like David Howard Jr. will just have to hold on. And he'll be locking his way into the chase this year. Taking a look at drivers that are in the top 10 and where they are right now. David Howard Jr. right now is running in third in points. We are going to see him get his win here tonight and lock his way into the chase, as he was the only driver in the top 5 without a win. Joe Mitchell, take a look here really quick. No, he's not. Adam Baker running in 5th. He'll gain some points on points leader Seth Hatchell, who's running in 7th. Chris Samard having a good bounce back from last week. Right now running in 6th. And Keith Mayato, who just peeked into the top 5, has a shot at maybe making a pass on Chris Samard. I don't think he'll have enough points this week quite yet to get around into 4th. As we now have 10 to go, let's take a look at the top 5 and where they started here tonight. David Howard Jr., who started 12th, up in 1st right now. Joe Mitchell from 7th to 2nd. Keith Mayato from 2nd to 3rd. Shane Papala from 3rd to 4th. And Adam Baker started in 5th, still sits in 5th. Last car on the lead lap. Coming to 9 to go now. Actually, no, we will be coming to 8. No, we are on 9. We're on the wrong driver here. We'll go to David Howard Jr. here. We were watching that battle, see if it was going to unfold between Joe Mitchell and Keith Mayato. And we want to remind everyone at home, next week, the Lazy Days Cup Series heads back to the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, for the Bristol 145. And you can catch all the action right here on BDR Broadcasting. So David Howard Jr. has 8 laps. Looks like just over 6 seconds of a lead on second place Joe Mitchell. And it does look like Keith Milo has started to fall off as well. The great strategy by David Howard Jr. We'll have to definitely talk to him on that here tonight. He has locked the most laps led as well. So David Howard Jr. is going to get a perfect 46 tonight. For leading he'll get 3 bonus points for leading a lap, leading the most laps, and winning the race, giving him 46 points here tonight. And I know Keith Mato wanted some points to try to get around Chris Samar, but it doesn't look like tonight is the night to have it happen. And he's still got a chance to get around Joe Mitchell, but I'm not sure if Keith has tires left on that car to get around him. Now have the 5 to go. We're going to sit with David Howard Jr. Actually, let's ride along in David Howard Jr.'s car, see what he's seeing out there. And you could just hear it in the corners. You could hear how much throttle control that David Howard Jr. has right now as he comes to 3 to go. And he's going to have almost 6.5 seconds behind him to Joe Mitchell. Coming to the 2 to go, and it looks like David Howard Jr. has all but locked it up. And it looks like pretty much the whole field has locked it up, as the closest battle right now is back for lapped cars. That is Seth Hatchell and Chris Samard. Take a look back there with the 2 to go. It is actually right behind the leader. It is Chris Samard in 7th, in 6th, and Seth Hatchell in 7th. Seth trying to get as many laps as many points as he can, as Adam Baker is 2 places ahead in that top 5. And we'll be getting the white flag around this time around. David Howard Jr. will come around and claim the white flag. 1 lap to go here at Michigan International Speedway. On to the backstretch he goes. White flag is, of course, out. We're on the last lap. 6-second lead back to Joe Mitchell. David Howard Jr. comes around 3 into 4, looking for his first win of the year. The checker flag is out, and David Howard Jr. will be your winner here tonight for the Portside Jaguar and Land Rover 290 at Michigan International Speedway. And we'll take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with our interviews with our top 3 finishers. Stay tuned right here to PBR Broadcasting. All right, and we are back, and we're back here with the winner tonight, David Howard Jr. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, what a way to win, and what a way to lock yourself into the chase this year. We talked about it in the pre-race. You were the only driver in the top 5 in points to not have a win this year. How does it feel to finally get that win and get locked into the chase?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it, man. This one was pretty elusive for me, man. I've been trying for a cup win all year and haven't got one. Got 3 in the trucks and 3 in the Xfinity Series, and finally got one here, man. I'm pretty excited.
Now, we saw you Tuesday actually get a win at this track. Did you kind of do the same strategy here tonight?
Yeah, it's just man, it's just these big tracks. They lend themselves to more green flag racing, and I think that's where I really excel. I'm trying to get better at the short green flag runs, but you know, we'll take it, man. I enjoy these big tracks, and I think we head to a little one next week, so we'll see if we can get better at those.
Yeah, you talk about liking those big tracks next week. You guys go back to the Coliseum. You go to Bristol. You think you'll be able to maybe try to pull a 2 in a row?
Man, I certainly hope so. It's a track I've never really had a lot of success at. I've never won in anything at Bristol. Raced a lot of times there. Never really had a lot of success, but I love racing the place. Like I said, I'm working on the short runs and being more aggressive on them short runs and still trying not to wear out my tires, and hopefully it'll pay off there, man.
Well, you didn't have the first win for Diamond State Racing. Timothy Lewis got that back at Talladega, but this one's going to lock Diamond State Racing into the chase. Who would you like to thank tonight?
Mainly my wife and kids. They're my biggest fan. They were in there cheering. I heard them when they heard you call it across the line there, so pretty awesome to have their support, and I always want to thank them first for letting me take the time out to do this stuff, and thank all the guys at SoMO, man. Paul puts on a great show and, you know, really does his best and works real hard at it, man. And the products there, you see the green flag racing and the type of guys I race around. That's the next people I want to thank is all my competitors, man. All of them are really respectful, great guys. And, man, it's a pretty awesome situation to be getting to race with them.
Well, congrats on your win here tonight. And, you know, celebrate tonight because it was definitely a good run put on by you. You had the most laps led. You start 12th tonight. You had 50 laps led, had the most laps led. You're going to gain a perfect 46 points tonight. So go ahead and celebrate tonight, and we'll hope to see you next week out at Bristol.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited. I just want to give one more shout out to my personal sponsor, Butler Furniture, man. They do a lot for this series and also Lazy Days Racing. Butler Furniture will be on our car pretty permanently in the Truck Series and the Cup Series, not just the Xfinity Series coming up. So that's a pretty cool deal.
Well, congrats once again. We hope to talk to you shortly.
Thanks a lot, bud.
We'll now go to our second place finisher, Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell, you got a copy?
No, sir.
Well, you kind of, you're consistent here, and you got to be happy you got the second, but you got to be down a little bit on yourself for not being closer to David at the finish there.
Yeah, that was definitely a fuel mileage race. We had that caution early, and it really kind of put us in a box that guys were either going to have to save a lot or make 2 more stops. And I debated for like 20 laps. I'm like, I don't want to pit. There's going to be a caution. I know it. So I ended up breaking down and just doing it. And it worked out decent. I picked up a couple spots, but I don't know where David got that last run speed from, because there was no way. He was just going.
Now, we've seen you finish in the top 3 at a road course. We see you finish in the top 3 once again at a 2-mile track. Next week, we go back to short track racing at Bristol. What do you got for these guys?
I would have to say that Bristol is one of my favorite tracks to go to. I don't know. I love it there. I don't know. I turn a ton of laps, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, just trying to be consistent these last couple weeks. Well, prior to the last couple weeks, I was having some issues, so I'm just trying to keep it clean, keep it off the wall, and try to be there at the end, basically.
Well, you start 7th tonight. You do come away with a 2nd place finish. You lead 3 laps, and you score a good amount of points for your team, MB Motorsports, who is leading the team standings right now. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to you, Steven, and PBR Broadcasting, Paul, Aaron, Jeff, all the guys that run everything at SoMO. It's awesome here. Guys race with a ton of respect. It's a lot of fun. I'd like to thank all our sponsors, just everyone that makes it possible behind the scenes. We wouldn't be able to put on these shows if it wasn't for them. I'd like to thank my team, my teammates, MB Motorsports, Adam, Seth, Ryan, Shane. Also, I'd like to thank my wife and son.
Well, congrats on your 2nd place finish, and we hope to see you out at Bristol.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we'll now go to our 3rd place finisher, Keith Mayato. Keith Mayato, you got a copy?
10-4.
Well, it looked like you had the car to beat in the early part of the race, and it looked like you were going to get around Joe Mitchell at the end there. How do you think you did out there tonight?
Unfortunately, I beat myself on that one with that speeding in pit road. If I had those 15 seconds back, it would have been a different finish. But yeah, with Joe, I picked up a lot of ground on I guess that last run there, but I burned pretty much my stuff up by the time I got to him.
Yeah, surprisingly, we saw you come down pit road in the lead and get that speeding penalty. We also saw Seth Hatchell come down pit road and get a speeding penalty while he was leading the race. Was there something different about pit road here? I know it is a different surface when you get onto the pits, but is it just the entry that kind of tricked you up?
Yeah, I guess because I didn't practice pitting during practice, but yeah, once I got around that bend on the flat spot, I didn't realize how close it was, and I think I was doing maybe, I don't know, 120 or 90 or something at the time, and yeah, it wasn't enough, and I was happy that I even kept it straight from hitting the inside wall there.
Now, we saw you actually win last week at Watkins Glen, and we see you here once again in the top 3 here at Michigan. Next week, you guys will go back to short track racing. Do you think you'll have what it takes to get a win out there?
Unfortunately, I won't be here for the next 2 weeks, so I won't have to try myself out at Bristol.
Well, all right. I think you do have enough wins. Obviously, you got 5 wins this season, so you should be locked into the chase already. So we definitely hope to see you when you get back here and get back to racing. And I know a lot of these guys like racing against you, and definitely able to push them a little bit farther than they would otherwise. So you do start 2nd tonight. You finish 3rd. You lead 36 laps. Who would you like to give a shout out to?
I'd like to give a shout out to the GAC crew that I race with every night, and Butler Furniture for sponsoring a race tonight.
Congrats on your 3rd place finish, and I guess we hope to see you when you come back.
Yep, I'll be back. Just taking a vacation, a much needed vacation.
Yeah, everybody needs it. We'll talk to you later, man.
Take care. Have a good night.
And that was Keith Mayato, who would finish third tonight. We'll take a look at the final results for tonight. It would be David Howard Jr. coming away with a win, locking his way into the chase here tonight. Joe Mitchell would finish second. Keith Mayato would finish third. Shane Papala in fourth. Adam Baker would round out your top 5 in fifth. Chris Samard would finish 1 lap down in sixth. Seth Hatchell 1 lap down in seventh. Aaron Riley 1 lap down in eighth. Paul Zota would finish 1 lap down in ninth. Then we'll go to Jim Locking, who would finish 7 laps down in 10th. Lynn McNeese would finish in 11th after having to park his car after his engine decided to give up on him. Travis Wall will finish 12th. David Gameforth will finish 13th. Bob Skinner 14th. Brian Neff in 15th. Dean Viney will finish 16th. Stephen Burnett in 17th. Lupe Gonzalez in 18th. Justin Kern in 19th. Jeff Glockner in 20th. And Joe Owen will round out your field in 21st. So with that, I would like to thank the many sponsors that support Southern Motorsports, including iRacing World, O2 Dermaloof, Cindy's Finds, Portside, Jaguar and Land Rover, Joe Owen Towing, Amy's Jewel Sense, Hardee's, CS Hobby, BZ Designs, and Lazy Days Racing. Thank you to the admins of SoMO, Paul Zota, Aaron Riley, and Jeff Glockner for allowing Parks Brothers Broadcasting to bring you the race here tonight. Thanks to everyone watching at home. And make sure to subscribe to Parks Brothers Racing for your weekly Lazy Days Racing broadcast. And next week, these guys will head back to the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, for the Bristol 145. And until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.